everybody, to week 1 of the 2KU season. We just finished up week 0. And after each game, we have the 2KU Weekly Podcast. I'm Antoine Joy 101, joined by Danny V and Pig Bear, who you're seeing for the first time this season. He was not here for the stream the other night. Danny was only here for a little bit in call. But for anyone who's confused with what's going on your screen currently, we usually have just some games in the background to just volume there. We usually have some games going on in the background just for visual stuff while we talk about the more important stuff in the 2KU season. And there was a bit of a running gag that happened throughout the past few years where we had France joining the Pac 12 in their collapse, and at some point Uno was also involved in the move. So basically this is a game that's been hyped up for quite some time between Uno and the nation of France. And we are, of course, at the scenic Wendy's parking lot in Alpena, Michigan, as portrayed by Myrtle Beach's Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina. I'm Antoine Joy 101, joined by Danny B, the Pig Bear. As I said, we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to get through the headlines here. But first, how are you two doing? Danny?
Pretty good. Excited for week 1 of the season for everyone else to kick off.
Pig Bear?
It's cold in Boone. I didn't realize it'd be this cold this early. I'm in a long sleeve shirt right now, and was cold all day today.
Also, Austin's in Boone. APB.
Yeah.
Is in Boone. You're going to Appalachian State, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to Appalachian State.
Big ups. Congratulations on that. Danny just graduated last off-season. I think I mentioned that in the last episode.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they wearing green in the away section?
Are they? Oh, yeah, they are.
They are.
Okay. Let's talk about the headlines here. Last night a few nights ago, we saw Arizona State beating Dave Show in overtime with a huge comeback win and recovering a fumble that would give them the game. However, they have a bit of bad news with Cole Lefebvre set to miss time. We'll talk about that later. Liam Lambert was a big star for the Fighting Irish as Notre Dame won convincingly over Boston College in the Aer Lingus Kickoff Classic in Dublin. Kansas had the first major upset of the season, taking out a number 20 Hawaii on the islands, reminding us how KU was flashing periods of greatness. Remember, they peaked in the top 10 last season. That kind of got forgotten with their late season collapse. UC Davis played their first game as an FBS member this season. Not only did they win, they dominated over New Mexico 42-24. How good can the Aggies get? We look at the Heisman Trophy frontrunners so far. We have quite a few names to get through. The frontrunners: Oregon's running back Kenneth Graham, Texas quarterback David Richardson, and Tyrell Thomas, last year's winner out of Michigan. And we have a special bulletin about USF finally unveiling their plans for the new stadium on campus set to open in 2027. But we're going to get things started with our game in the week from Orlando. It was the Battle of Sparky between the Arizona State Sun Devils and the Dave Show University Truckers. Started because of a grievance that Dave Show had with Arizona State's use of their mascot. This rivalry has been played, I believe, now 10 times over the years. Arizona State led 7-2, and it looked like that gap was about to close with Dave Show getting out to a commanding lead beginning. This was the first start of his career for Bruce Dunham, who people were super excited to see here. You probably remember him from Dave Show's old series.
Child of previous Bruce Dunham.
Yeah. And how about Burger Dog the Third, who kicked a 69-yard field goal, which is an NCAA record, the longest in history, breaking Gino Vincenzo's record at Rutgers in 2012. And funnily enough, it happened on this date, August 25th, 2012, 13 years ago. Meanwhile, Arizona State did not give up. They clawed their way back. Kevin Flores was a big star for the Sun Devils behind center. 460 yards passing, 89.8% completion percentage, 3 TDs through the air, including a throw in overtime to Jonathan Hall, which gave the Sun Devils the lead. Dunham would end up fumbling on the next possession, ASU would recover, and that would seal the game for them. However, it is not all sunshine and Sun Devils for ASU, as Cole Lefebvre, their Heisman hopeful running back, transferred from Harvard last season, left the game late with an injury. It's ruled that is a shoulder injury. He will be out 2 weeks as he recovers. Danny, if you can't pull up who Arizona State plays next, or their next games, to make sure you see what they're missing, because having a dynamic rusher like that and missing any amount of time is going to be detrimental to an ASU team that relies so heavily on the run. But regardless, ASU won and made a case as a Pac-12 dark horse, potentially. What are your thoughts here on the game, Danny?
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, amazing kick by Bergerdog third, and Dave Joe almost had it, but overtime did break their hearts, unfortunately. Dave Joe this Friday is playing against USF. Arizona State, they are on bye week this week, but week 2 they play against FCS Northern Arizona, and then week 3 host the Gators.
Gators. I think it's a pretty lucky stretch to miss Lefebvre for. You have a bye next week, and then the week after that you play Northern Arizona, a team you are expected to win against. Pigbear, your thoughts on this game and on the season going forward for the Sun Devils and Truckers?
We've seen this a lot with Dave's show. They have a tendency to get out in these early games and fall and falter, and I hate to see it, but I mean, such a great program down ran in Orlando. How about Bergerdog with a nice kick from 69 yards out? And I think Lefebvre being out won't be as big as the stretch Danny said they just go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, going to that Florida game, if he's not 100%, but he's there, he's gonna have to be fully recovered by then for them to play well against Florida.
That ASU Florida game looks a lot more interesting than it did even just a few weeks before the season started. We're going to run through some other games that happened this week, starting in Dublin. Not only was it the Aviva Kickoff Classic, it was an installment of one of the Holy Wars as Boston College took on Notre Dame. Pigbear was seeing this in stream before I woke up, mind you. But Notre Dame won convincingly.
I had plans, my bad.
Won convincingly 30-17 over the Eagles. The 12th ranked Irish are led by Liam Lambert, who we'll hear a lot more about later when we talk about Heisman potential. This is the first season, as we mentioned, Notre Dame's outside of the Big Ten. They're back to being an independent. They play quite a few Big Ten games this season. And taking down a team like Boston College is definitely no easy feat, even though they're projected to be one of the weaker teams in the ACC. What does this say about Notre Dame, Danny?
Yeah, it shows that Notre Dame is still ready to play, and even though their schedule might be tough, getting off to a strong start at Glad does help build momentum, especially for their bigger games later on.
Pigbear, you sim these games. What kind of teams did you see play out there in Ireland?
I saw Notre Dame a very dominant offense, great running, and great passing attack too. But I also saw in Boston College. My gosh, guys. I saw Boston College team that has some grit in them. And I mean, look, I'll say this: the game wasn't as close as the scoreline. Notre Dame should have won by like 20, but Boston College kind of made things interesting. I think they actually correct me if I'm wrong here. They outscored them in the fourth quarter at least. But
I mean, I don't think either of us can correct you. We weren't there.
Yeah, we'll go with they outscored them in the fourth quarter because I think Boston College scored a touchdown, like Notre Dame didn't score anything. But I mean, I think Lambert's gonna be a great quarterback and he'll take the country by storm.
There's a touchdown for France.
First touchdown of the rivalry.
From an expected result to an unexpected one, we head up to the islands. Clarence Teaching Athletics Complex in Honolulu. That new Aloha Stadium still being moved back. Last I checked, it's now down to 2029. We'll touch on that later. But Hawaii starts the season number 20. This is their first season in the Mountain West after they won the WAC last year. And they welcomed Kansas to the islands. This was a great, hard-fought matchup. But in the end, it was Kansas who took the lead late. And their defense sealed it up. KU upsets a ranked Hawaii 38-34. Now, seeing this game, Kansas was a lot better than people thought going into the season. We thought they were going to end up middle of the pack. I think most people projected Kansas would lose this game, considering how well Hawaii plays at home and how many times these sort of teams have trouble against the Rainbow Warriors when they come down there to start the season. But Kansas held on. Kansas played consistent football. And Kansas had a bunch of ranked wins last season, and a lot of that core is returning. KU might be making a case for themselves in the Big 12 the same way Arizona State might be in Pac 12. Danny?
Yeah, it's always hard to play against Hawaii, especially on the islands. And Kansas, they were keeping toe to toe.
Kansas.
Of course, they did the win. Kansas did get the win, of course, or luckily without committing any TikTok dances. But Kansas is definitely seeming like a possible contender, especially considering they played 13 games this season.
They have an extra
So they
game.
might
That's
have that
true.
little extra booster. They might have an extra booster their resume.
Big Bear?
Great win for Kansas, and I mean, look, that'd been a 10 o'clock kickoff if this game was in Lawrence. Just assuming every other detail of the game was the exact same, but it was just in Lawrence. 10. Sorry, and actually, no, not 10 o'clock. I did my math so wrong, guys. That would have been 11. 10 o'clock kickoff in Lawrence. Never mind, I am so wrong. But I was right. So they went out there and played till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and they played their tails off. What a win for the Jayhawks.
Both these teams are active next week. Kansas hosting Washington State at the newly renovated David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. Meanwhile, Hawaii has to head on the road to UCLA in the Rose Bowl. A UCLA team Hawaii lost to last season. I believe was their only loss last year. Was to the Bruins. We'll see how they handle that. The MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff from Atlanta. Jackson State getting a 13-10 win over Winston-Salem State. And it's been the SWAC that's been pretty dominant in this battle thus far between the two. Look at this touchdown for Uno. Big play
Reverse.
there. You say reverse or?
Yeah, Uno reverse.
Sorry, I thought you said a different thing. But Jackson State winning 13-10 over Winston-Salem. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, dominant win by Jackson State. The SWAC is definitely the better of the HBCU conferences, but let's see if they could go further on in the FCS.
Well, we'll have to see because if you remember, the last time an HBCU between these two conferences made it to the Final Four of the FCS playoffs, it was Savannah State of the MEAC. But we'll see how that plays out. Big Bear.
Another SWAC victory, another year. Time rolls on, I guess.
Time rolls on.
You can only dream for the MEAC.
To Lincoln, Nebraska at Memorial Stadium, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are a team that are probably going to be very exciting to watch this year. They get things started with a 20-0 rout of South Dakota State. Danny, your thoughts?
Yeah, Nebraska, they've had their ups and down seasons recently, so to see them go off to a very dominant start against a pretty good South Dakota State team definitely helps shows that they do have the potential of maybe being a contender in the Big 12.
Big Bear?
Just the problem is their schedule is a little bit tough.
Yeah, good win for Nebraska. Good win for Nebraska.
Speaking of tough schedules, Nebraska's next game is on Friday. You can catch it on the Antoine Joy 101 Discord server. We'll be in call for that. But on the schedule there, they host Arizona, the reigning Pac-12 South champions. It's gonna be a dandy right down there. The first overtime game of the season went to double overtime. That was a matchup between Southern Miss and Georgia Southern. 16-9, the final score. The only touchdown scored between the two happened in the second overtime. Southern Miss scored it and walked it off. And Southern Miss is expected to be one of the best teams in the CUSA. What are your thoughts on what you saw here, Danny?
Yeah, the score is very puzzling. 9-16 isn't the best score to see. They did get the win, but they need to especially prepare themselves for their next game, which is against Power SEC Folk Ole Miss.
Big Bear?
Georgia Southern loses to the Rock. Time tells all its time.
Yeah. Up next, the UC Davis Health Stadium. How about UC Davis? Their first ever game as an FBS member, and they blow the doors off of New Mexico, who comes into town. 42-24 the final. This was a UC Davis team who was consistently good at the FCS level, but they were never really considered championship contenders to the same way that a team like Montana or the Dakotas or probably like Albany currently is in the FCS. But this much of an explosive win must signal good things for the team going forward. UC Davis, what are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, a very great win to start off their FBS campaign. You don't really see that a lot from teams who transition up to the FBS, so they already start off on a great foot.
I mean, we
Looking
saw
like
it
it
with
might
St.
be a
John's against
possible bowl
Wisconsin.
season.
I still don't know if that happened. Big Bear?
Welcome UC Davis. What a way to get it kicked off. Let's see what he can do.
And I'm noticing between the other night's game and this one, the audiences in this game have quite strange hair physics.
Thanks,
Yeah.
EA.
It's what happens when I try lying down with my headphones on. Meanwhile, Sacramento
we
State,
got,
their rival down, I believe, east, if I'm correct,
I believe so.
or west, I believe. In the same geographical area, Sacramento State also kicked off their campaign against a team they played 2 years ago in the FCS National Championship in Eastern Washington. But how about them Eagles? EWU, a team marred in poor play these past few seasons, at least when they've been in their FBS mode. They've got themselves a win, only their second as an FBS member. Remember, they went winless in 2022. They skipped out 23 in the FCS. They only won one game in 2024 against Cullen Payton. And they have their first win of 2025 already. 24-13, the Eagles of Eastern Washington beat Sacramento State. And Sac State is already looking jealous at their rival UC Davis. Danny?
Yeah, I mean, rivalry game, of course, anything could happen, so... But it was a great matchup, at least in Sacramento. Even though
Big
it
Bear?
was
Oh,
their...
they messed up the snap! Uh-oh! Touchdown,
Oh,
Uno! I've never seen anything like that before.
He reversed him.
Plug 7. Oh, no, EWU, we're all rooting for you, man. Good job getting the win. Continuing to give momentum.
To the, for Sacramento and Houston. Sam Houston State playing the season, as you mentioned. We'll talk about stadiums later, but one thing I did miss in that list coming up is the Sam Houston. Their stadium is going under major renovations, and as such, they'll be playing the season at Shell Energy Stadium in Houston proper. In their first game in this new tenure, FIU comes to town and steals one from the Sam Houston Bearcats. 31-27 the final score. FIU getting off to a good start. Sam Houston, this is their first season as a Conference USA member, I should add. Danny?
Yeah, that... I'm sure Sam Houston State, they're not happy that they need to go on the road to play home games, but I'm sure they'll bounce back soon, especially in a tougher Conference USA and FIU. Great job. Keep up the wins.
Big Bear?
As Pitbull says, don't stop the party, and he's partying, and his Panthers are partying.
Trackhouse racing legend, Pitbull.
Yes.
Dale.
And FIU donor, Pitbull.
Doesn't he have his name on the stadium?
Yeah,
Yes,
Pitbull
Pitbull
Stadium.
True. Truly.
Sorry, Mr. Worldwide.
This is truly an moment. And we wrap up in the FCS, a matchup between two of the best FCS teams last season, Montana and Monmouth, squaring off in Grizzly Stadium. That home field advantage was ultimately too much for Monmouth to keep up with. Montana, 24-21, beats the Hawks. The Montana Grizzlies. The Montana Grizzlies are expected to be one of the best teams in the FCS still this season. The Monmouth Hawks too. I think that ultimately this is going to be a very good season in the FCS. If it's between these two, these two or not, who do you think is the best team in the FCS this season, Danny?
That's a pretty tough one. Montana's always consistent power. I think I'm gonna stick with Albany. They have been very consistent and, of course, able to compete with anyone.
Big Bear?
Montana and Albany. Can't rule out the Hawks too, eh?
I think also you got to consider reigning national champions Ferris State. They're continuing to play well. They're continuing to play well. I think my pick for best team is staying in the state of Montana. I'm going to go with Montana State. I think the Bobcats have had a meteoric rise lately. And I think it's between those Montana schools. I won't be surprised if they match up at the end of the season and then again in the FCS playoffs at some point. That wraps up our games that we're focusing on. We do have a special news bulletin of sorts. The University of South Florida has announced a brand new stadium, or actually they had been teasing the stadium for years at this point, but now they officially announced they're breaking ground on it. An on-campus stadium, which should seat about 35,000. It solves the big problem with a lot of South Florida's attendance. They have a hard time getting fans there. A lot of their students have to make long commutes to the stadium. And they also don't own their stadium. It's Raymond James Stadium is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' home place that they are renting out. You see how badly this sort of situation can work in something like St. John's, who is still going through that saga. In fact, there are rumors that St. John's might end up having to move some of their home games here out of Yankee Stadium, and they are playing some games in Red Bull Stadium in Newark, New Jersey as well.
Yes.
We'll see how things go for the Red Storm, but South Florida, new stadium. I've seen the renders. It looks great. I love how it looks. This is one of the few cases where it actually crosses 2K stuff actually crosses over with real life. So you can check it out. It's on USF's official website as well as their YouTube channel. You can see some of the renders. They look great. Stadium should be around pretty soon, within 2 years. I also put together a bit of comparison. I sent it to Danny. I think Danny can send it to Pig Bear. Just a quick graphic showing each of the stadium situations in the Big East Conference, which South Florida joined last season. I don't think it's very surprising that they announced this big new stadium thing so shortly after they joined the Big East, at least in 2K lore. There are a couple teams in this league that don't really own their stadiums. Georgetown, they play primarily out of Audi Field, though they have some plans in the future. Fumble. Get it back. Play Audi Field. They might spend some games at the new Commander Stadium in DC proper coming up, on the site of RFK where they used to play way back when. You have Villanova, who plays out of Villanova Stadium. They own that stadium. However, they have recently looked into playing games at Subaru Park, which is the soccer stadium home to Philadelphia Union. It has a bit of a larger capacity. It would still make them comfortably the smallest stadium in the conference. But you also have teams like Memphis, who don't technically own their... or Memphis, who have an off-campus stadium, though they are the main tenants. You have Pitt, who are not the main tenants of their stadium. They have to share it with the Steelers. There has been fan outcry to build Pitt its own stadium, as there has with Temple, who are in the same boat. Though nothing has really come of either of those. We have a couple new stadiums on the horizon, as well as some renovations. This season debuts two big re-renovated stadiums, namely Kansas's David Booth, which we talked about earlier, will be playing its first game against Washington State this Saturday. Meanwhile, Louisiana Lafayette will be debuting their new stadium, or not their new stadium, but their recently redone Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium in Lafayette. Wyoming is beginning renovations for War Memorial Stadium, which should be done at some point, I believe, in the near future. We have, and of course, probably the biggest and most high profile of these new stadium renovations will be Beaver Stadium for Penn State. I believe they started pretty recently. It should be finished by 2027. But we have three new stadiums confirmed and one sort of on the fence. Northwestern, new Ryan Field, that is well underway at this point. They have their new digs will be complete by 2026. We have South Florida, as we mentioned. Their stadium is done in 2027. The new Aloha Stadium for Hawaii originally was going to be finished in 2028, but it's been pushed back again to 2029. The official status of new Aloha Stadium is still up in the air. If I were a betting man, I would say ultimately they might just decide to scrap new Aloha and keep renovating Clarence T. Ching until it's a full stadium to the expected capacity. But I'm still hoping, I'm still rooting for new Aloha. The renders look great. I can't wait for that. And I hope it does end up being real. The one we're not sure about is that there are rumors with Rice about them building a new stadium. Apparently renovations are not said to be enough. I'm not sure what the plan is with their stadium because they were talking about shrinking it, but now they're in the SEC, and I don't know if you can do that necessarily. It's gonna be an interesting process moving forward for Rice, as it will be for a lot of these teams. Danny, your thoughts on the new stadium for USF as well as these other new projects?
As someone who graduated from the school that's right down the road from USF, aka I-4, I'm at least happy that they're getting a new stadium. They don't have to rent out Raymond James because, well, let's face it, when FIU has built a on-campus stadium before you have, that's kind of a problem. So I am happy they're at least getting this off the ground, and especially within their big push to try to jump to a big conference. But at least they're building something great. Maybe they can hopefully win a game against the Knights.
Big Bear?
I mean, it's great for the Bulls to get their own on-campus stadium. I hate college football and NFL stadiums. I love the college atmosphere of it.
Yeah. We'll move on now.
I'm going to a college game in an NFL stadium this week, but that's not home game for either, so that's a new side.
We'll move on now. Every year we do our Heisman hopefuls for the 2025 season, and this time we have a list longer than any other. I've got 20 guys here that I think that you should remember the name of, because we might be saying their name again in December. Starting off this list, Tyrell Thomas of Michigan. He won the Heisman Trophy last year. No player in 2KU has ever won the Heisman Trophy twice. Could the reigning national champion make history? We have Kenneth Graham, senior running back from Oregon. He's no stranger. He's from a school in Oregon. No stranger to great running backs. RJ Abraham, Daniel Hunter, Terrence Noel, if you remember the first years of the 2KU.
Oh, yeah.
Is Kenneth Graham next on that list? David Richardson, junior quarterback from Texas. He was a backup for Oregon. He transferred to the Longhorns, hoping for a big new season. He spent 2 seasons behind Andrew Burnett, who ended up being a first overall pick in the NFL. Is the move to Texas David Richardson's time to shine? Luke Brown, the junior from LSU, another quarterback. Brown was hurt a lot of 2024, and that leaves a lot of people skeptical for him, and that was clearly something that rocked the Tigers. With him back and with the defense stronger than it was last season, could that be the piece that LSU needs for a national title push, or at least to win the SEC? The only freshman on this list, Logan Martin Garcia, quarterback for Miami. The 3-name phenom is the #1 recruit in the nation last year. Is LMG ready for that big-time explosion as he's been hyped up for? Jason Hancock, senior running back for Penn State. He was a key part of that 2023 championship, or the 2023 Big Ten championship squad that played in the Natty in New Orleans. He's been a top 10 Big He's been one of the top Big Ten rushers every year in his last 3 seasons. Is the 4th time the charm. Austin Trooper, senior quarterback for Alabama. He's been there through the probation. He's seen this team fight in spite of having nothing to play for. He's seen all the SEC turmoil that's gone on around it. And as his name suggests, he's powered through. He is a trooper. And he is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the SEC. Liam Lambert, we talked about him at Notre Dame. It's been a long time since the Irish had a true generational quarterback. Is Lambert the guy? Going back to Texas, Texas is the only team on this list that has 2 players listed. Joe Rivera, senior running back for Texas. This was the other big transfer that Texas got. Stanford's number 2 running back. He's expected to be a great Texas halfback in a school littered with them throughout their history. Elijah Lopez took over the Cincinnati job. I forget the name of the guy who was there before. But he's now in the NFL. Elijah Lopez is a transfer from Florida State. He's dynamite on his feet. And he is a obvious frontrunner for Big East Player of the Year. Daryl Shin, the only defensive player on this list, a senior from Nebraska. He transferred from Vanderbilt. Remember, he was an All-American last season at safety. He aims to become only the 2nd Heisman Trophy winner on defense in 2KU history. Tony Moore, senior quarterback of Clemson. He might be the most NFL-ready player in the ACC. He had solid numbers through 2024, and he is projected to be a star this year. Hunter Bouchard, senior quarterback out of Georgia Tech. He pulled the ultimate heel turn this offseason, transferring from Georgia, other way around. He transferred from Georgia Tech to UGA. He's now playing for the Bulldogs. He's got as many fans as enemies in Atlanta. We'll be seeing him next week. Hayden Fortner, sophomore tight end out of USC. The only tight end on this list. Fortner is a true jack of all trades as a receiver, blocker, and rusher. Marshall Hoffman, junior wideout from Utah. He was overshadowed by Avery Von Trask, who himself was a Heisman finalist. Hoffman is expected to have a breakout year as the new wide receiver 1 for Utah. Daniel Anderson, running back out of Oklahoma. He is a wrecking ball. One of the hardest players in the country to take down. And he epitomizes the idea of a true power back. Nothing can stop him if he gets going. Devin Brown, junior wideout from Florida State. Brown was a bright spot in that rocky season that Florida State had last season. Now that the Noles have rebuilt and reloaded, a big 2024 should be in order for the junior. Cole Lefebvre, we talked about him earlier, and we saw him in action last night. Lefebvre is a French native, so the France thing actually makes sense. He transferred to Arizona State from Harvard. He was the Ivy League's lead rusher last season, and he is expected to be in the top of the Pac 12 this year if that Ivy League stat translates. Of course, he will be missing 2 weeks, as we mentioned earlier, but they are 2 weeks that are probably the easiest ones to miss this season. Look at this return. And we have 2 non-power teams on this list. Junior quarterback out of UNLV, Nathan Rodriguez. Rodriguez was a Wazoo player last season. He transferred to UNLV. The UNLV Rebels have never had a Heisman Trophy finalist. Is Nathan going to be the first one? To another team who's never had a Heisman Trophy finalist, and our last player on the list, Dexter Robertson, a sophomore quarterback from Texas State. Mid-majors always have one electric passer shock the nation. Is Texas State's Dexter Robertson the one to do it? And that's 20 players that I've listed out for Heisman Trophy hopefuls. Looking down this list, I think the big player to look out for on the Heisman Trophy race is going to be Kenneth Graham out of Oregon. We always say an Oregon player is going to be in the finalists, and they almost always are. I think last year was the only time Or no, I think Burnett was nominated last season.
Mm-hmm.
But Oregon has had a Heisman Trophy candidate all but 1 year we've done this. So I think Kenneth Graham is a surefire bet at running back to take home the Heisman Trophy. Danny, you got that list, right? Who do you think is going to be a Heisman winner?
If I had to put my money on someone, I'm thinking Kenneth Graham from Oregon. At Oregon, they are, of course, one of the more historic programs. They have great talent and, of course, might have national championships aspirations this year.
They've had national championship aspirations pretty much since we started this series. We'll see how it pans out. Pig Bear.
Liam Lambert, I think what he did set him up for success, and I think the Irish will go on a special run this year, and he'll lead them to him.
All right. Now would be where we move to our top 25. There aren't actually any changes this week. We didn't do a poll. We will do one next week. That'll be our first proper top 25. But I'll run through it just so you see who they're playing to start. Michigan, number 1 still. They head to Atlanta to take on Stanford. Remember, Stanford upset Michigan a few years ago when they played at a neutral site.
That was in Arlington.
Oregon, number 2. They play North Dakota State in their debut. Ohio State has Buffalo. Wait till you see the spread on that one. Utah, number 4. They take on... They actually head to Wisconsin. Number 5, Clemson takes on Troy. Number 6, we have Georgia Tech. They play Auburn in Atlanta. Oklahoma State is number 7. They have Southeastern Louisiana at home. Cincinnati is 8. They take on Miami, Ohio in the Victory Bell. Kansas State is number 9. They have Texas State. That's going to be a very tough challenge. Keep that one circled on your calendars for later. Number 10, Alabama. Western Kentucky heads to Tuscaloosa to start their season. Tulane, reigning SEC champs, are number 11. They head on the road to FAU to start the year. Notre Dame, first team on here who's actually played a game. They beat Boston College. They head back home to start the season against Arkansas. No. That is definitely not a gimme.
Yeah.
Number 13, Texas.
Not at all.
They also have a game that's not a gimme. Louisiana Tech, reigning WAC runners-up, and they've actually wrapped out our others receiving votes this season. They're expected to be a good team once again. Penn State, number 14, they host Washington. That's going to be an exciting one. Number 15, Texas A&M has Louisville, also an exciting one. UCF plays Northwestern on Thursday in the Bounce House. Number 17, USC has Illinois at home. Number 18, LSU hosts Nichols. Number 19, Boise State heads on the road on Friday to take on Idaho. And that game is in Moscow, so watch out. Hawaii lost to Kansas. They head on the road to take on UCLA to cap Saturday. Number 21, San Jose State starts the season against Toledo at home. And number 22 and 23 play each other. Georgia, number 22, and 23, Oklahoma, meet in New Orleans for the All-State Louisiana kickoff. Number 24, Virginia Tech, takes on Old Dominion on Thursday. And another neutral site. The Saturday begins with Tennessee and West Virginia. Tennessee, number 25, in Charlotte. Others receiving votes here are Washington, Florida State, Michigan State, Rice, Auburn, Indiana, James Madison, Iowa, Temple, App State, North Carolina, Wisconsin, BYU, Arkansas, Southern Miss, Hardin-Simmons, Memphis, Columbia, UAB, Nebraska, and Louisiana Tech. And watch out, you see a couple of those teams also appearing in the top 25. Utah heads to Wisconsin. Georgia Tech plays Auburn at a neutral site in Atlanta. Notre Dame has Arkansas. Texas has Louisiana Tech. Penn State has Washington. There are a lot of scary trap games this season, or this week, just to start the year. Not really any thoughts on top 25, but Danny, what do you think of... Who do you think's in danger, actually, in this top 25?
The team I think is in the most in danger, I will have to say Tennessee playing against West Virginia. They're always a scrappy team. They always are willing to pull off an upset. Possible that the Mountaineers can do it. The other team I would look at is Auburn because rivalry games is always an intense one.
Big Bear?
Red alert in Austin. Red alert. Louisiana Tech gets the upset. Calling it now.
That's a big one. I think the game to watch out. It's definitely going to be in that mid pack between Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, and Texas A&M. I think the one that could be the most upset prone could be Texas A&M. That Louisville team is scary if you give them any room.
A&M.
All right. Now we take a look at our games of the week this week, starting on Thursday, August 28th. And Pig Bear, actually, you can take this one. You know what's going on here.
We will be live from E.J. Whitmire Stadium in Colby, North Carolina for the most underrated rivalry in college football, the battle for the old mountain jug, the true premier institution in the western half of the state of North Carolina, Appalachian State versus that school in Colby, Western Carolina. That's right. Rivalry returning to real life in 2028. I'm very excited. I get to see that during my senior year. But the Nears are 6.5-point favorites, and I'm hammering that. No bias here at all. No bias. Let me flip the camera on for y'all. No bias at all. No bias at all.
Hang on, let me
give me app.
Let me put your cam back on. We got to see it. There you are.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, zero bias at all in this pick. Zero bias. But
I think that makes me the only person who's never showed their face on this show.
Yeah.
You get enough of that on the main channel. I do agree with you. I like App State on the road. I think they cover. I think App State was a dominant team last season. They, I believe, won the Sun Belt in their first season.
Runs up, I think.
Yeah. App State was unstoppable in the Sun Belt. I don't think they're going to be as dominant this year, but App State looks to be the best team. Looks to be the better team on this matchup. Danny.
Give me App State as well. They are definitely the better team compared to West Carolina with a little bit of the troubles that are happening in the SoCon. Definitely a good chance for App State to pounce on the big win to start.
Now, I will speak kindly of the Catamounts. I think they will win the Sun Belt, but
the SoCon?
Sun Belt, SoCon. Yeah, Western Carolina will win the SoCon. We're not foreshadowing here or anything. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But Western Carolina is probably the best team in the SoCon this year, or one of the better teams in the SoCon.
I think they're in the top half. I have Chattanooga winning the SoCon.
Yeah,
they played
the Catamounts win the SoCon. To all my friends who go there, sorry, but App's better. Boone's cooler than Colby. Boone's a college town. Colby's got a Zaxby's, and that's it. Thank you very much. Coming my TED Talk.
From Pig Bear's team to Danny's, the UCF Knights kick off their second season in the Big East as 10.5-point favorites hosting the Northwestern Wildcats at the Bounce House. I like the number 16 Knights of UCF to get the win here. Danny?
Yeah, it's gonna be a night game. It's the Fox's Thursday night game. They always have a week one for some reason, but I do think it's gonna be a great matchup, and I'm gonna take the Knights to win.
Big Bear?
It might be a rocky month. Who knows?
Let me give a UCF with Northwestern covers.
All right. We might have a simulcast that night because I think Pig Bear will have West Carolina App State. But I'm pretty sure Danny will be playing number 19 Boise State, heading over to the Kibbe Dome, taking on Idaho. Boise are 5.5-point favorites on the road. This will be Boise's first game as a Pac 12 member. This will be Idaho's first game as a Mountain West member. Keep in mind, though, Idaho upset the ranked Broncos last season in Boise. Can Idaho do the same thing again this season? I don't think so. I think Boise State gets revenge on the road. Give me the Broncos plus the points.
I'm going to be broadcasting the game, and give me the upset. Give me Idaho.
All right. Big Bear?
Kibbe Dome Chaos. Idaho.
All right. Friday, August 29th. We have two really fun games for you. Dave Show off their loss to Arizona State. Heads upstate to South Florida, who we talked about earlier. It's the Battle of the Horns at Raymond James. USF favored 6.5 points at home. I talked about them as a dark horse in the Big East. This will be the first game of the year. I like South Florida to win. Dave got too cocky last week and let a lead slip away. And against a team like Arizona State, they could get the lead. If they let that slip away, I don't think they're going to be able to do the same against a team like South Florida, who gave a ranked UCF all they could handle last season, who gave Cincinnati all they could handle last season. I like USF to win this game. Danny?
I don't think there's going to be any miracles this time, so give me the Truckers.
Big Bear?
Dave show.
All right, we got 2 Dave shows, 1 USF.
This is the Dancing in the Moonlight Bowl. If you know, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. I should pitch my voice. I should pitch my voice down. I should become Harry Downer.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, please.
Oh.
I could, but I
Harry Downer on the call for that game would be hilarious. Even
That'd
though
be great.
I'll be busy at 7 o'clock on Friday night, but
I want to stay a little later though, because also on that Friday, Arizona and Nebraska in Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. I think this might be one of the most entertaining matchups this season. Arizona won the Pac 12 before, or won the Pac 12 South before. They gave Utah a scare for the national championship game. I think Arizona is a lot better than the experts are giving them. Nebraska just got a win over South Dakota State in commanding fashion, and they're expected to be one of the better teams in the Big 12 this season. It's going to be very fun. Nebraska favored by 3.5. I like the Huskers to get to a 2-0 start. And I think potentially sneak into the top 25 with a win there. Danny?
Give me the Huskers as well. They were really dominant last season. I think they'll continue the momentum on until this week.
Big Bear?
give me the Huskers, and they'll cover easy. This line's overvalued. The Nebraska will win by 10 points.
Saturday, we have a loaded slate of matchups here. Number 25, Tennessee taking on West Virginia in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. It's the Duke's Mayo Kickoff Classic. West Virginia is actually favored by 2.5. I like Tennessee, though, in an upset. An upset that's not really an upset since Tennessee is ranked. But give me the Vols to win in North Carolina. Danny?
Give me Tennessee as well. They are currently ranked and do have themselves a bit of a high-flying offense, but West Virginia will keep it scrappy.
Big Bear?
If you think Western Carolina App State has a moonshine theme, welcome to this game. Give me the Mountaineers. Give me West Virginia to win here.
All right.
And I'll take points, too.
Tulane heads on the road as the number 11 team in the country, taking on FAU in Boca. Tulane 5.5 point favorites on the road. I like the Green Wave to get off to a 1-0 start. Danny?
Give me Tulane to come out with the win, but I think FAU will keep it close, but definitely give me Tulane.
Big Bear?
Give me Tulane in Boca.
All right. Battle for the Victory Bell. Miami, Ohio heads down to Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats, who are number 8 in the country. Cincy, a 19.5 point favorite. I like the Bearcats to win this one. Danny?
Give me the Bearcats.
Big Bear?
Give me Cincy.
All right, Louisville, Texas A&M from Kyle Field. I mentioned this might be one of the most exciting matchups. 15th ranked TAMU has a 6.5 point edge in the line, but give me Louisville. I think Louisville is the upset to watch this week. Danny?
It is going to be a big game. I think Louisville will have the best chance of getting an upset here, but give me Texas A&M. Make sure to watch it on the Discord server.
Yeah. Big Bear? Big Bear?
Big Bear.
Texas A&M.
All right. The Buffalo Bulls of the MAC head down to Columbus to take on number 3 ranked Ohio State. How about this line? 55 points in favor of the Buckeyes. I think that's one of the biggest lines we've ever seen. I'd be crazy to pick against it, so I guess I have to pick the Buckeyes.
Give me the Buckeyes as well. They need everything they can to get the win, especially for next week when they have a big challenge.
Danny or Pig Bear?
He says Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah.
All right. Texas State heads out to Manhattan to take on Kansas State. K-State 9th ranked in the country. Though don't forget last time they were in the top 10 to start the season and faced a team in gold to start it out. They lost to an unranked Purdue. And I think this is another trap game for the Wildcats. I like the Bobcats in this one. Give me Texas State in a 9.5-point upset. Danny.
Give me Kansas State.
Big Bear?
K-State.
To the swamp. Florida. Taking on Colorado. Florida 6.5-point favorites at home. Who do you have, Danny?
Get ready to be jumped. Give me the Gators.
All right. I'm going to pick Florida as well. Still a lot of experience on that team. Kenneth Latimer, who led the team to the Natty a few years ago, is there as well. I like the Gators. Pig Bear, you said Florida? Moving on.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Florida, yeah.
To the Alamo Dome, we move on. UTSA, 3.5-point favorites at home against reigning one of the best teams in the Mountain West last season, Air Force. I like the Roadrunners to win at home and start their campaign in the CUSA. Danny?
Give me the Roadrunners as well. Close.
Pig Bear, you picking San Antonio?
Yep, UTSA.
How about the first game for the number one team in the country being about 1,000 miles away in Atlanta? Michigan, 10.5-point favorites in the Aflac kickoff game against Stanford. I like the Wolverines to cover. Danny?
Give me the Wolverines as well.
Big Bear?
Give me Michigan close, though.
All right. Paint Bucket Bowl rivalry between Arkansas State and Memphis. Memphis are 10.5-point favorites at home. I've made my case all this time. Memphis is going to be a scary team. I like the Memphis Tigers to win this one plus the points. Danny?
Give me the Tigers. Memphis.
Big Bear?
Give me Memphis.
Notre Dame, number 12 in the country. They just got a win against Boston College in Dublin. They head back home under the watchful eye of Touchdown Jesus to take on Arkansas. Notre Dame are 13.5-point favorites against the Razorbacks, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that lopsided. Notre Dame might be able to get that giant lead against a team like Boston College, but I don't think they're going to do it against Arkansas. Give me the Irish, but close.
Give me the Irish as well. I think they have enough talent to compete with anyone, and I think they get the win here.
Big Bear?
Give me the Irish.
All right, Alabama starting their year number 10 in the country. They take on Western Kentucky as 21-point favorites. I like the Crimson Tide to win this one, Danny.
Roll Tide, roll.
Big Bear?
Alabama is grass green. Next question.
All right. This is an interesting one. Number 13, Texas, hosting Louisiana Tech. This is Texas' first game of the year. First game for David Richardson, under center for the Longhorns. Louisiana Tech is a very difficult team. Texas, though, favored by 16.5. I don't think the spread's going to be that wide. I think Texas does start their season with a convincing win, though. Danny?
Give me Texas as well.
Big Bear?
I alluded to this earlier. I'm calling the upset here. Give me Louisiana Tech.
It would be the biggest upset we've seen so far. New Mexico State and Central Michigan, two teams who historically have been very interesting in the 2KU. New Mexico State starting their first season as a Mountain West member. Central Michigan starting their season at home in Mount Pleasant. Aggies are 4.5-point favorites on the road. I like the New Mexico State Aggies to get the win. Danny?
Give me Central Michigan to win close.
Big Bear?
Give me New Mexico State. Give me New Mexico State. And plus the points.
Kansas got a win last week against Hawaii. Or got a win on Saturday against Hawaii in the Islands. They head back home to a newly renovated Kansas Memorial Stadium. to take on Washington State. KU are 6.5-point favorites. I like the Jayhawks in this one to start a season 2-0. Danny?
Give me the Jayhawks. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Pigmare?
Took the line out of my mouth. Give me Kansas plus the points.
Next up, 31-point favorites are Clemson against Troy out of the Sun Belt. Clemson, 5th-ranked team in the nation. They're expected to dominate in Death Valley. Give me the Tigers.
Give me the Tigers as well, pretty easily.
Big Bear?
Clemson, Troy covers though. 31's too big.
All right. Number 4th-ranked team in the country, last year's runner-ups in Utah, trying to run it back. They start the season on the road, though, at Camp Randall in Wisconsin, a notoriously tricky venue for anyone entering. Utah 6.5-point favorites in this one. Danny, who you got?
Give me the upset. Give me the Badgers.
All right. Not so fast, my friend. I got to get one in. Tribute to the great Lee Corso. I'm picking Utah to win this on the road.
All right, I'm gonna cry at noon when he puts that headgear on. But bump, 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 jump around, jump, upset, upset.
USC, number 17th ranked in the country. They host Illinois at the LA Memorial Coliseum. Trojans are expected to beat the Fighting Illini pretty comfortably, 10.5-point favorites. I like USC to win this one. Danny?
Give me USC as well, but it's going to be a lot closer.
Big Bear?
Call me a madman. I'm picking another upset. Give me Illinois. I trust the Illini.
Number 21, San Jose State. Played in the Cotton Bowl last season. They lost to K-State in that one, but they start this new campaign at home in San Jose against Toledo. The Spartans are a 15-point favorite over the Rockets. Give me San Jose State to start the season with a win. Danny?
Give me the Spartans.
Big Bear?
Give me the Spartans.
LSU and Nichols facing off against each other. LSU, number 18 in the country, only a 21-point favorite against Nichols, who is one of the best teams in the South and projected to win it by a lot of people, for sure. However, regardless, though, it doesn't matter how good you are. You're not winning as a Southland team in Death Valley. Give me LSU. Danny?
It's a night game in Death Valley in front of a ranked LSU. Yeah, give me the Tigers.
Big Bear?
I want to say Nichols takes the points here. Yeah, Nichols takes the points, but LSU wins. Yeah, is grass green? Is water wet?
LSU expected to. LSU expected to win the SEC this season. I'm hoping that they live up to expectations. Penn State, number 14 in the country, they have a lot of expectations. Last year, they did not live up to all of them. However, the year before, they played in a natty. Can they get back to that lofty expectation? To do that, they'll have to beat Washington at home first. And a Washington team that's very dangerous. PSU favored by 6.5. And I'm going to go the upset here. Give me Washington to beat Penn State. Danny?
Not so fast, my friend. Give me the Nittany Lions.
Big Bear?
We are Penn State. Give me the Nittany Lions.
All right, we move to number 2, Oregon, taking on North Dakota State in Eugene. Oregon's favored by 21 on an evening game in Autzen Stadium. Give me the Ducks plus the points. This team is dominant. Danny?
Give me the Ducks as well.
Big Bear?
Give me the Ducks here. I was looking forward to another game. If I'll say something, I would get shot in Eugene for saying, but yeah.
Corvallis, Oregon is their next site. From Oregon to Oregon State we go.
There we go.
The Beavers hosting BYU. BYU 2.5-point favorites on the road. Not so fast, my friend. Give me Oregon State at home to upset the BYU Cougars to start their season. Danny?
Give me BYU. They do have a talented roster and they have a lot of potential. Give me the Cougars.
How about this game getting close all of a sudden? Picker?
Not so fast, my friend. Give me Oregon State. I'm with Joey on this one. Go Beavs.
Hawaii lost last week on the islands to Kansas, sorry. They head on the road to Pasadena to take on UCLA. UCLA beat the Warriors last season, and they're 3.5 favorites this year. I like UCLA to win this one. Danny?
Give me Hawaii to win close in an upset.
Big Bear?
UCLA hammered points.
UCL Slay.
UCL Slay.
We wrap up our Saturday slate with UC Davis and Nevada, a game that got a lot more interesting a week after with the results on Saturday. Nevada went from a 13.5 point favorite down to a 4.5 point favorite over UC Davis with the Aggies win. I think the rush of new support for UC Davis probably won't be enough, though. I think Nevada sends them back to reality with a win here. I'm picking the Wolfpack. Danny?
Give me Nevada, even though there might be a rivalry. I think Nevada is a lot better than New Mexico.
It is a revived rivalry, dating back to Nevada's days in the FCS. Pig Bear?
Nevada hammer the points also. UC Davis, it was good, but I think it was a little bit fluky. They were good, but they didn't need to win by that much. I think Nevada will win this game comfortably. I think 13.5 is actually a good line. I wanted to say that. But it's Monday, it can move. So.
Meanwhile, on Sunday, what a grab there. Sorry, I got distracted by the actual game. Sunday, August 31st. Fun thing about week 1, we have extra football. Army and Boston College facing off against each other in Chestnut Hill. BC a 4.5 point favorite even after their loss in Notre Dame. I'm going to pick the upset, though. I think Army steals one. They always steal one every year from a power team. I think this is the one they do it here. Danny?
Give me Army as well.
Pig Bear?
Not so fast, my friends. I think BC, they showed fight at the end of that game, and I think they continue this. Plus the points.
North Carolina, Syracuse from the Wireless Dome in Syracuse, New York. UNC, 3.5 point favorites on the road. Give me Cuse, though, in an upset. I think Cuse is one of the best teams in the Big East this season. Danny?
Give me Syracuse as well, close.
Big Bear?
Give me Chapel Hill.
UNC. Monday, September 1st. Auburn and Georgia Tech, former SEC rivals, reuniting in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The number 6th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are 6.5 point favorites in what's essentially a home game. Give me Tech. They were dominant last year in the ACC, and I think people kind of forget about that. I think they run it back this year. Danny?
Give me Georgia Tech close.
Pig Bear?
Up with the white and gold, take the points, but I think they win between 7 and 10, somewhere.
All right. There. How about that to end the game?
Whoa.
France with the comeback win. But we now move to our 2KU game of the week from New Orleans. The All-State Louisiana kickoff, and our only ranked matchup in week 1, number 23 Oklahoma and number 22 Georgia. A Big 12 SEC matchup with a lot of implications in terms of the future of their 2025 season. Georgia favored by 3.5 in the Superdome. I like the Georgia Dogs to win this one. Danny?
Give me the Bulldogs.
I get the point after. Pig Bear, who do you have for our game of the week?
What's that coming down the track?
What's that coming
down the track?
It's Me Machine and the Crimson and White.
Oh,
ain't nothing finer in the land.
Nothing finer
than
a drunk, obnoxious Sooner fan.
The bait and switch. Sooner.
Sooner. Give me Oklahoma.
Making OU in the upset. With the heel turn. You can catch this on Saturday as OU and Georgia face off for their first games of the season. We have plenty of games on 2KU's, plenty of 2KU Discord exclusive games through the Antoine Joy 101 Discord server. Thursday night, we have a simulcast of App State, Western Carolina, Boise State, Idaho. Friday night, we have either Dave Show, South Florida, or Arizona, Nebraska. And Saturday, we have a whole slate of games, including Louisville, Texas A&M. We have some games later, potentially that matchup Notre Dame Arkansas could be an interesting one on stream. We saw Notre Dame before, but Washington Penn State too would be a really good one in call, and we'll have games on Sunday and Monday as well. Actually, we'll have to do the Monday one early because that would be the day of our podcast. But how about college football being back? Isn't it so good to say? I'm glad to be back. Thank you all so much for watching.
Yes.
We'll see you on Saturday for Georgia, Oklahoma. And so long. Run the 2KU.